All right, grand arrival, grand rising, grand return. This is our Pisces full moon astroterography. We are going to move through this pretty quickly. This video is coming out quite late, being that the full moon is actually tonight, 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you know, it happens that way sometimes. We're just going to move through this information as quickly as possible. And I hope that everyone has their minds ready to partake in this, because it's going to be a very, very, very energetically active full moon, especially since it is an eclipse. So our ascendant is at 28 degrees of Taurus, and this is the Hierophant, which is bridging the material and spiritual world. So automatically you have a bridging, but not just a bridging, a transference from the material world into the spiritual world, and from the spiritual world into the material world. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be a transference, and hopefully you guys have been doing your work. You'll be on the right side of that. The next placement is Mercury, which is at 14 degrees of Virgo, and that's the Nine of Cups. And that's dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. But remember, the Nine of Cups is not grounded in reality. So this could be that spiritual world coming in that's not real, or this could be the material world going into the spiritual world, where it's also no longer real because it's out of the material world. This is also reminds me of, like, you can't take it with you when you die. Like, if the person is removed from this, you can't take the stuff with you. You can't take the cups with you. You have to use the cups while you're here. And I was just lamenting about how people are so messed up with money that, you know, they don't understand that they can't take it with them. And if they don't spend it, it's not going to live on forever, especially not in this system. And a lot of people have been able to previously make their money live on, but there's things coming it's going to make it impossible. It's going to make it impossible. And just to, back this up, we have the Sun at 25 of Virgo, which is the 10 of Cups, and that's love, satisfaction, and harmony. But again, it's out there somewhere. And because we have this Hierophant, which is separating the two timelines and sending one timeline into the physical and one timeline into the spiritual, we don't exactly know. First of all, I can tell you one thing for sure. I would much rather go through this descendant energy, because that's where all the physical abundance is. But these people who think that they're holding on to it, but look at the physical abundance of the Pluto, or the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the Princess of Pentacles. And you have Uranus, which is the Knight of Wands. That's all being protected. 100% protection. These people that are going off into La La Land with this Nine of Cups and this 10 of Cups, this is exactly what they deserve. No doubt about it, is what they deserve. And a lot of people are going to go off into La La Land. So the descendant and the part of fortune. So not only is this the descendant, this is also the part of fortune. And it is the Death card, which is transformation, change, and the dark night of the soul. So if you've already been through the dark night of the soul that's required to get this abundance, then you'll be getting the abundance. If you have not been through this dark night of the soul that's required, then you're not going to get it. You're going to go into La La Land with the rest of the nutcases. I mean, I just don't have any patience for these people anymore. Honestly, it's insanity. Pure insanity. So you have Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and that's the Queen of Coins, and that's femininity, fertility, and sensuality. So again, that's another abundance card, but it's physical abundance. It's a literal birth. Just like in the Capricorn slice, you have the Tower, the Empress, and the Star. That is a literal impregnation. Okay, literal. The next card we have is Neptune, which is at 28 degrees of Pisces, and this placement is actually retrograde. So this is what is closest to us. This is the first retrograde point we have in the chart. This is what is truly close to us, and this is the what did I say? Did I do Saturn? I just skipped to Neptune. All right, let me go back. Saturn is at 15 degrees of Pisces, and that's the 9 of coins, and that's success, great love, and rewards. Then we have the moon at 25 degrees of Pisces, which is the 10 of coins, and that's carefree, harmony, and happy love. Then we have Neptune, which is at 28 degrees of Pisces, which is close to us, and that's the princess of coins, and that's ambition, diligence, and desire. And what I wanted to point out about that is because that is close to us, retrograde planets are close to the earth. That's close to us. So that is close to this transformation. So you have to equally be able to go with the flow and also be diligent about what you want physically, like really physically. The next person we have is not actually on here, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. And this is the Queen of Wands. It's Vulcan, which is at 25 degrees of Aries. And that's pride, femininity, and self-confidence. And the reason why that matters is because with these women, the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Coins, they are very, very feminine in there. And of course, the Princess of Coins, very, very feminine energy. So you also want to make sure that you're confident and that you are tapped into your feminine. Even men, you want to be tapped into your feminine side for this particular lunation. So the last placement is Uranus, which is at 27 degrees of Taurus in retrograde. So this is also very close to us, which is the Knight of Wands, which is fiery love, self-confidence, and motivation. So if you just look at the pictures, you could clearly see that this abundance is being protected. It's being protected by death from one side and by the Knight of Wands from the other side. The people who are not allowed to have this, new beginning are not going to have it. And because we have Vulcan here at 25 degrees of Aries, which is the Queen of Wands, not pictured, this also means that we are going to be able to protect ourselves. This is not just us having all this abundance with no way to protect ourselves. No, there's a Queen of Wands in here too. So we will be able to protect ourselves, which is always what I'm concerned about. Of course, this is if you don't do anything to transform this energy, transmute this energy. We're going to talk about the transmutations right now, but I just want to point out, I have on here that this is the harvest moon, which is gratitude, sharing, and home. So this is all about physical things that are happening at home. And because this is the harvest moon, I feel like people are going to be forced to hand over their money. Because I don't know what the reason is exactly. I can't tell you. But I do believe people are going to be forced to hand over their money, because even this Queen of Pentacles is handing over her money. The Page or Princess of Pentacles is handing over the money. Like, everybody is handing out money. So I feel like there's going to be some money handed out. I don't know where or why, but some people are going to have access to this money that is just given out. That's what it looks like to me. All right, so let's talk about the transmutations. The very first one we have is Ascendant, which is the Death card, and that's transformation, change, and the dark night of the soul. But this time we're going to look at this through the 7th house of Scorpio, which is learn how to persevere and adapt to any internal change. The people who are going to be able to best navigate this energy are people who can adapt to the change. If you can't adapt to the change, then you're going to not do so well. But people who have been doing the work, they're not going to have a problem adapting to the change, okay? The next person we have is Mercury, which is the 9 of Coins, and that's success, great love, and rewards. But this time it's through the lens of the 11th house in Pisces, which is to combine wisdom and emotions in a balanced manner. Again, this woman on this card is balanced. She's happy. She's focused. Be balanced. You have the money, yes, but also be about nature. Be about sharing what you can share with whomever you can share it with. This is the harvest moon when you're supposed to share. And there are people who are being forced to share as we speak. They're being forced to. They don't want to do it willingly. They don't have a choice. They must do it. All right. The next person we have is the Sun, which is the 10 of Coins, and that's carefree, harmony, and happy love through the lens of the 11th house in Pisces, again, which is to combine wisdom and emotions in a balanced manner. So this 9 of Coins and this 10 of Coins is about combining all the wisdom, all the emotion, being balanced after this transformation that you've adapted to all these different changes. That's the energy we want to really hone in on, because this next set is not so good. So the descendant and the earth transmutation is the Hierophant, which is bridging the material and spiritual through the lens of the first house in Taurus, which is to be easily convinced but never forced into action. Again, this is the kind of thing where if someone presents you with some good information, you should probably change your mind. But if they're on a bunch of BS, then you should probably ignore them. That's literally how this information is going. And as you can see, the next cards all out are all delusional people. Like, the first cards were people who were grounded in reality. These next cards, these people have nothing in reality. And the thing I like about this transmutation is that once you make the change, like once you can do the transformation, once the switch is in, it's immediate. You're not going to have to wait for your abundance to show up. It's immediately going to show up. Whereas in the regular set of cards, you had to kind of work your way through the change, dodge around the things that weren't legitimate, the things that weren't real before you could get to the abundance. If you transmute the energy, the abundance is going to be immediate, because as soon as you make the change, you go right into the Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, then the 10 of Pentacles. It's right away, and it's protected. It's separated by this Hierophant. And it's a double Hierophant at that, because it's descendant and the earth. And of course, to me, the Hierophant is like the daughter, the divine daughter, not the mother, the daughter, who's going to be no nonsense about this separation. It's not going to be, oh, well, this one they tried and that one will just give this one another chance. No, she doesn't do all of that. You get what you get, and that's what I feel like this is. So again, we talked about the Hierophant. Be easily convinced but never forced into action. People shouldn't have to talk you into a bunch of stuff. You just be easily convinced and never forced. If it don't feel right, don't do it. Skip it, because it's probably going to be a bunch of nonsense. The next placement is the Queen of Cups, which is empathy, sacrifice, and patience. That's through the lens of the third house in Cancer. And that's find a way to balance your logical mind and emotions. So this lady is going to be sacrificing and patient, but she's patiently waiting for nothing. Like, there's nothing coming to this person. Literally, they're not going to get anything. They're not going to get anything. There's nothing, right? Because right behind it, you have Saturn, which is at the 9 of Cups. And that's dreams, enjoyment, and happiness. But yeah, again, it's not real. Through the lens of the 5th house in Virgo, which is to go with the flow of life and use your imagination. Yeah, use your imagination, because that's all you have. That's what some of these people, that's all they're going to have is their imagination. Or you can take this way as well. Once you have your abundance, use your imagination to balance your logical mind and emotions. And also don't forget to sacrifice. During the harvest, we always left for people to glean from. That's the kind of energy you want to have. Like, on one hand, people are going to be going off into a psych ward. On the other hand, you're going to want to leave, and you're going to want to help people through this harvest season. If they haven't been, listen, if these people have not been sowing good seeds, they're not going to reap anything. But does that mean you just sit back and watch them suffer? No, you still want to offer the ability to, some kind of a helping hand if you can. If you can't, fine. If you don't get your physical abundance, your spiritual abundance like you're supposed to, don't offer these mofos nothing. But in all likelihood, if you've made the transformation and you can be checked like, oh yeah, you already did the work, boom, you're going right into abundance. And everybody else is going into, the psych ward, honestly. We have the moon at 10 of Cups, which is love, satisfaction, and harmony. And that's through the lens of the 5th house in Virgo, which is, again, go with the flow of life and use your imagination. Again, love, satisfaction, and harmony in their minds. It's not real, okay? It's just not real. The next placement is Neptune, which is the Page of Cups or Princess of Cups, and that's opportunity, invitation, and affection. Also through the lens of the 5th house in Virgo, which is to go with the flow of life and use your imagination. In this case, this person is imagining that this little fish they got in this little cup is a big thing, and it's not. Again, lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies. Or on the positive side, once you have come through this portal, this dividing by the Hierophant with this double Hierophant energy. And also in music, when you have a double line of something, that's a repeat. You just go back and repeat. So to me, you have the opportunity to just go back into another quick transformation and then level up again financially. Go back to another quick transformation, level up again. Because a double, two of something, two lines is a repeat. Like, that's what I'm also seeing this as. Like, you don't even have to deal with this disillusionment if you just go with the, with the energy. What's not pictured is we have Vulcan at Queen of Swords, and it's confident, willing to learn, and equality through the lens of the 6th house in Libra, which is work hard and play hard to balance out life. So again, these people could be trying to balance out their life, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to do it. Or the Queen of Swords is going to force them. They're not getting past this delusion that they have to go through. This could be very difficult. All right, the last placement we have on the board is Uranus, and that's the Knight of Swords, and that's honesty, opposition, and conflict through the lens of the 7th house of Scorpio, which is learn how to persevere and adapt to internal change. These people could literally be forced to make really, really major changes really, really quickly. And it could be just they're that delusional. So if you've been going through major changes for the last year or 2 years, and they've been slow and incremental, you will probably be able to handle the change much better. But these people who have been avoiding doing the work and not doing the work altogether, these changes are not going to be incremental. They're going to be drastic. And I don't think a lot of them are going to be able to handle it. Honestly, I'm not getting such a great feeling about that. So, hopefully this has been helpful. Ooh, sorry about that. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you're interested in the whole presentation for the full moon, please go to the description and click on the AmaruKhan Lunar Working Group. That's where we have the whole, you can join the Telegram, which is free. We have the whole set of slides and the full audio that comes out with every lunation so that you can follow along and also apply this to what placements you have in your chart. Thank you so much for joining me today for this transmutation and full moon report. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.